First off, we doing appreciation, Halloween appreciation to Jamie Lee Curtis because the first video that I had. Also, we think, well, I think, but I guess on behalf of the Halloween movie franchise, the movie watchers that watch the Halloween, all the Halloweens, well, all of them, had some, slumps like the Rob Zombie. Anyway, but the ones, the iconic ones that we know of, like the Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5, Return and Revenge of Michael Myers, and things of that sort, Resurrection, H2O. I even like the Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. But Jamie Lee Curtis really has always, outdid herself, but in a good way when it comes down to her portrayal as Laurie. And just to see Jamie Lee Curtis grow, from when she was just, I think she was 19 when she first did the first Halloween, if I'm not mistaken, 19 or 21, very young. Seeing her grow on the screen and just seeing how her character also grow, and to us finding out, on the second Halloween that, she was Michael Myers, sister, but same, mom, but I think different pops, if I'm not mistaken. It's like his half sister, if I'm not mistaken. But just to see that whole character grow and just her involvement, it's something real special, man, because the acting that she really, became Laurie. And it's just like she got better through time and you just see how comfortable, she was in front of the camera as it prolonged in different, in the Halloween, in the different Halloweens that she was in, from the first to the second, like I was stating. And then, and the fourth and the fifth, it wasn't really focused on her, but, her acting was just it was so impactful to the point that, she could take, 2 Halloweens off and come back, and then people will still be like, Jamie Lee Curtis, you know what I'm saying? So, just to see that, and just to, when you think of Halloween, you think of Jamie Lee Curtis, you think of Michael Myers, you think of Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance. So that's what I wanted to really pinpoint on, just her, her character growth, and just the scenes that, she and Michael Myers were both in, whether it's, it always gonna come down on Michael trying to, kill his, his sister, because he took out, the oldest in Halloween 1. But to just to seeing that, and just to seeing that her character also grew stronger, because like I said, we go back to the first one again. As we go back to the first Halloween, it was like she was a little timid, it's like she was a fish out of water. She was just trying to she was young. She was still trying to figure everything out, and seeing like just high school, and everything was just like new as far as like this whole Michael Myers thing. And then, like I said, in the second one, when she had to go to the hospital to recover her wounds, because Michael Myers took a slice out of that arm. She just grew more comfortable and more fearless of this Michael Myers guy. So it's like when somebody feel like they, of course she kept running, but it ain't like she just stopped to say I ain't running no more. We didn't really get that until later on throughout the years with Halloween Kills, where she's just like, fuck it, I ain't running no more. And I'm older too, so I ain't got time to be running. But in Halloween 2, you start to see a little bit of that growth, of that strength within the Laurie character. You started to see that, it was like already, coming to a dead end of her always feeling like, she had to run from this guy. And by it being her brother, it kind of made her feel like she shouldn't have to run. But then, you come to the conclusion like, well, shit, this ain't my full-blooded brother. So, I mean, maybe my ass do have to run a little bit. So it's like, these thoughts that may be going in through Laurie's head. She's still, trying to understand why this guy is trying to still, come after her. You know, it's like she didn't do nothing wrong. She wasn't even in the picture of, you know, after you had killed your older sister. And with Donald Pleasance, the reason why I liked his character and, you know, with Laurie is that, you know, he was kind of more like the peacemaker, but he really wasn't afraid of Michael. You know, as I stated in the video with Donald Pleasance, y'all check that out. And, you know, just saying thank you to Dr. Loomis, his character. Psychiatrist, that was his psychiatrist. You know, there's no reason for him to, like, he knew this Michael Myers when Michael Myers was like a toddler. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like a kid. You know, like 6 years old type. You know, so it's like, he really wasn't afraid now. That's somebody that wasn't afraid of Michael at all. And I remember in, you know, Halloween 2, when it first started off, Dr. Loomis kept going on about when the police, you know, came about, he was like, I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times. I had to shoot him at least 6 times. And I swear, like, when he was saying that, I swear like I felt like I was hearing him saying that like 6 times. I'm like, damn, Dr. Loomis, like, you know, they heard you, man. Calm down. So it's like, he really wanted Michael dead. And when he was hitting them with that what the 22 that he had used, the first, towards the end of the first part of the Halloween, he hit him with a couple of rounds. And when he went outside, you know, towards the in the beginning of Halloween 2, you know, he saw that the body wasn't there. So he touched the grass, and you realized that he kind of wounded him because, you know, there's blood in the grass. But to Laurie's situation, she was like still, you know, she was in the hospital because that's where it started with her. You know, she was in the hospital, and of course Michael Myers is going to know that she's in the hospital. So she don't want them to drug her or nothing like that because she don't want to be high. And then, you know, motherfucking Michael Myers come in and, you know, she can't run because she high off the damn, off the medicine that they gave her in the hospital, you know, to try to, you know, I guess ease the pain with the wound that she was like trying to recover from. So Laurie's character, like, you know, she escaped the hospital, of course, because she knew she wasn't going to be safe there. But at the same time, you can see the look in Laurie's eyes, which also really showed me, you know, that her character was strengthening from within through each scene. Through each scene, it felt like that she was, you know, getting tired of having to feel like, of being afraid of Michael Myers. And the feeling like at the same time, don't nothing get you more frustrated than having to feel like you running from somebody. You don't know why you running from them. You know, I'm just picturing, you know, myself in Laurie's character, you know, to feel like you have to run from somebody and you don't even know why the hell you running from them. So it can be kind of irritating and frustrating and make you really want to, like, you know, take this motherfucker out. You know, so we got to have a plan, a game plan with Laurie, with that she knew that she couldn't come at Michael Myers on no checkerboard type of mentality way of thinking. You know, you got to really be strategic with Michael Myers because, believe it or not, Michael Myers is very strategic and he is a chess thinker. He's not a checkerboard thinker. Michael Myers is intelligent with how the way he's, you know, he comes about with his strategy on how he, you know, being able to dish off his kills. So, I mean, that's why I say you got to separate and put Michael Myers when, as far as you're talking about horror villains, people that's, you know, that you should be afraid of as far as like in a fictional world, Michael Myers is number one. Because Jason ain't that, you know, he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. And Freddy Krueger damn sure ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. So, and, you know, you go to Candyman. Candyman was a simple man. You know, you say his name 5 times, boom. So, but who else? Those are the main, you know, important ones. But anybody else come to mind, you know, you can leave it in the comments. But Michael Myers is the most strategic and calculative, well calculative in how he moves and things of that sort. So Laurie's character knew that in order to do this, you know, you got to team up with Dr. Loomis. You got to be able to come up with a game plan, a strategy. And that's what she did. But knowing that, not knowing at the time that she know that she couldn't kill this motherfucker. So, you know, it's like, you can do the best you can with teaming up with Dr. Loomis, and y'all can try to figure something out at the time to try to feel like, you know, see if y'all can win this round, because you're not going to win the war, you know. But you can do the best you can with that. And that's what she, you know, her and Dr. Loomis, you know, tried to do, you know, as far as like setting him, you know, getting to like taking all the gas. You know, they Laurie did something like she unhooked the gas thing in the hospital, and towards the end of the movie, like it ended up setting the whole hospital on fire. I don't know how she didn't blow up and die in it, because the whole damn hospital seemed like it blew up. But it didn't. It was just certain parts. But I thought that she was in that certain part, because it didn't really show her escaping from that part to where everything just exploded. Her and especially Dr. Loomis, because he was like old as hell. So like, how did he really escape from it? So, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But when the hospital, when half of it exploded and it caught on fire, fire was ablaze from everywhere. You seen Michael Myers walking through the fire. So it's like, it was a well executed move for as far as like you winning the battle, but the war you can never win because you can't kill Michael Myers. But Laurie really showed in Halloween 2, you know, the growth of her character throughout the upcoming, you know, to the upcomings of all the Halloween movies, that her character was growing more and more of tired of being afraid, and that she was going to try to find some way, somehow, to take down Michael Myers for good. So that's what I like to see. That's why I felt like she was such an important factor. Also, her saving, you know, the movie franchise, because her fearlessness continuously, you know, grew throughout each Halloween that we seen her partake in. So shout out to Jamie Lee Curtis, her character Laurie. You know, I had to make this video, you know, just to really like show the appreciation, because I don't really know if people doing that enough, you know, because Halloween is a classic. So thanks to Jamie Lee Curtis, the legend herself, and Sensei's Reality, man. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let's continue to go up. One love, peace.